O Coredemptrix of the human race, O Mother's Heart.
Hi, this is Dr. Mark Miravalle, Professor of Theology and Mariology at the Franciscan University of Steubenville, here to talk to you about my mother and, God willing, your mother, the mother of Jesus, the spiritual mother of all humanity. In our series of programs, we've talked about Our Lady's role as co-redemptrix, her role as mediatrix of all graces, and in this segment, we want to talk about her role as advocate. But I want to give you a few words of context to understand how Our Lady's role as advocate works together with her two previous functions as co-redemptrix and mediatrix. And perhaps you can visualize it this way, that as Mary is with Jesus at the foot of the cross, and as all graces are acquired at Calvary, those graces have to be distributed. And so if God is on the top of the screen, for example, and humanity is on the bottom of the screen, and the graces that are acquired at Calvary come from Jesus through Mary to humanity. And that's her role as mediatrix of all graces. So they're acquired at the top of the screen with the cross, Mary co-redemptrix. They're brought down, they're distributed to humanity, from God to humanity, in Our Lady's role as mediatrix of all graces. But there's still one other part of the circle of where Our Lady serves both humanity and God, and that's her role as advocate. In other words, the graces are acquired at Calvary, co-redemptrix. The graces are distributed, dispensed to humanity, mediatrix. But then her third role in serving Jesus and serving us is as advocate. That is, that she's bringing the needs of humanity back up to the throne of Christ the King. And that's her role as advocate. It's kind of completing what we might call a Marian circle of mediation in serving Jesus and in serving us. So when we call Mary an advocate, that also has a Latin base to the word, advocare. It means to speak on behalf of someone. This is why in many languages the word advocate is also used for lawyer. In fact, I was down in Bolivia giving a Marian conference to a group of Latin American leaders, and we talked about Our Lady's role as advocate. And two concerned attendees, two women, came up after the program and said, Dr. Miravalle, did you call the mother of Jesus a lawyer? And I said, well, the word advocate in Spanish is abogada. It's the same word, but of course, we're talking about a different court. It's the court of Christ the King. And we're talking about different clients. We're talking about us. But indeed, we can see that Our Lady is our advocate in the court of Christ the King, speaking on our behalf. And that's what the term means, one who intercedes favorably for the person they're representing. Our Lady's title, Mary's title as advocate, is the most ancient title we have regarding our Blessed Virgin that is not explicitly in Scripture. From the 2nd century, Mary was called advocate by St. Irenaeus, a great church father that dies in 202. And what it tells us is there's no invention going on here. This is the heart of Christianity. From the 1st and 2nd centuries onward, the Christians understood Mary as the principal intercessor to the throne of Christ the King, and they went to Mary with confidence and faith as an advocate. In fact, in a 3rd century prayer called the Sub Tuum Praesidium, which literally means under your protection, the early Christians said to Our Lady, we fly to your protection, O Holy Mother of God. Despise not our petitions and our necessities, but deliver us from all dangers, O ever glorious and blessed Virgin. 3rd century. In the 3rd centuries, the Christians knew that Mary was the ultimate advocate, that under trial, under persecution, at risk of death, you went to the mother if you wanted the fullness of the graces of the Son. Nothing new here, folks. This is the faith. This is the faith of the apostolic, the catacomb age, and all the way through the 21st century. Mary has always been recognized as the principal intercessor before the throne of God. And in the case of advocate, we also have a very clear scriptural basis. In the Old Testament, the title Gebira is the Hebrew title. The Gebira makes reference to the Great Lady. And the Great Lady was the mother of the Davidic king. Most of you will know that in the line of the Davidic kingdom, in the line of the royal kingdom of the Old Testament, the line of David had not only the role of king, but also the role of the queen mother. And the queen mother had two critical functions for the kingdom of Israel. Number one, the principal intercessor. If you wanted to get to the king, you went to the queen mother, and the queen mother would present you to the king. And that was the optimum way to get to the king. Number two, the queen mother was in charge of what was called dynastic succession. That means that if the king died, it was up to the queen mother to determine who would be the next king. Now what that tells us is this was not just an honorary title. This was a power role, a ordained role, not ordained in the sense of consecrated priesthood, etc., but a set role in the Davidic kingdom that would safeguard the kingdom by the intercession of the queen mother. So, as we have in the Old Testament, the mother of the king also was the principal intercessor in the kingdom. So we have in the New Testament. Why? Because Mary, being the mother of the King of Kings, Jesus Christ, becomes the queen mother, becomes the great lady. And we're going to follow this theme in the next segment about how Mary in the New Testament is indeed the queen and the advocate for the new kingdom, the people of God, the followers of Jesus Christ, and how her advocacy, her intercession is as universal as that of the king. And that's the universe. Thank you and God bless, and hope you can stay tuned for our next segment.